here I am, sitting all alone in this big old empty room that I call an office, staring at my computer screen. Just me and my microphone. And I'm here to talk about Do Me Baby. Off of the Controversy album, this is episode 29 of the Press Rewind Prince Lyrics podcast. I'm your host, Jason Brenninger. I wanted to do this episode all by myself, mainly because my understanding of this song is that Prince recorded at least the very end of this track by himself, all alone in a recording studio, just him and his microphone, groaning, grinding, moaning, and basically having a sexual encounter with himself for all of us to hear. And I'm not going to do that. I can't. Alright, so I'm not going to do that. Do Me Baby is a good song. It was the third track and the third single from Controversy, but it's a baby-making song. It's not a song that's going to be as in-depth of a discussion as maybe a track like Controversy or Sexuality or many of the songs on the second side of the Controversy LP. The Do Me Baby track is the last song on side A, so it closes out the first half of the album. And this is a ballad, and it's a sexy ballad. Well, this is really the first song that Prince has written up to this point that one could categorize as maybe a baby-making song. There are certainly lots of those ballads, but this is a sex song, really, and it's a sex ballad. And Prince has done sex songs up to this point, and he's done ballads up to this point. But if you're talking about categorizing some of Prince's songs, this isn't going to fall in the same category as a With You, or a Baby, or Got a Broken Heart Again. The closest Prince has come to this type of song up to this point would once again have to be When We're Dancing Close and Slow off of the Prince album. And while he gets a little raunchy on that, I think with Do Me Baby is the first example of it, the best example of it, and the most successful example of it up to this point. This track becomes a Prince staple later in his career, from International Lover on 1999, Adore, Sign of the Times, Scandalous from the Batman soundtrack, to off of The Gold Experience. There are a number, and I know I'm missing some, there are a number of examples of where Prince recorded this type of song. And Do Me Baby is in my recollection, really the first example of that was 100% successful. Because this song is great. It may not be your favorite track off Controversy. It's not my favorite track off Controversy, but it's a great song. And it's so Prince. I mean, everything in this song just is Prince's sexual persona on recorded media. And the thing is, this isn't even really Prince's song. I'm not going to get too in-depth with this portion of the conversation, because this has been documented in Prince biographies. It's available on Prince Vault, which is a very reputable site about all things Prince. So it's kind of common knowledge at this point that Do Me Baby is an Andre Simone song. Andre it wasn't credited, of course, on the album as the writer, but since the recording of this track for Controversy, and since the credits were documented as it being written by Prince, it has come to light since then that this is really Andre's song. And there is I've never heard it, but allegedly there's a recorded version from early 1979 with Andre on lead vocals. And so it doesn't seem to make sense that as early as 1979, with one album under his belt, that Prince would let a bandmate, somebody who was starting to become a Prince bandmate at that time, when he was just beginning to do and play some live shows. His first live show was in January of 1979. So this is right on the same time. And this was recorded by Andre with Prince on playing some instruments, but Andre's vocals are in the lead. So I'm not going to get, like I said, I'm not going to get too far into that. I think if you want to know more about Andre's role in the creation of Do Me Baby, you should really just seek that out for yourself through a myriad of Prince biographies, and it's all available there from interviews and whatnot. So I encourage you to find out for yourself what has been documented in that regard. But no matter what, if Andre would have had this song and recorded it, it wouldn't have turned out like this. Because the way that the track ends specifically is quintessential Prince. And there's everything in this track really kind of screams Prince and his sexual persona being documented for an album, and really kind of generating what that was going to sound like. Do Me Baby sounds like a typical song that you would think Prince would record, a typical ballad, I should say, because he had done it so many times prior. But this is the template. Let's take a look at it. It's the template for all those other songs that I had kind of already mentioned. You've got the real breathy falsetto that he sings the lyrics in, especially like early in his career. He did this a lot, but there's a lot of like vocal ticks and different ways that Prince would sing lines that would make it sound more sexual, make a line sound like it's almost as if he is singing it while having sex, or singing it from the standpoint of somebody who's receiving sexual pleasure. And he has a way of being able to articulate those experiences and those feelings just through the manner in which he sings, and not necessarily even has to be through the lyrics. What he's trying to do here is really put us in the same room with him, put us in his shoes even. Well, you have to assume maybe he's not even wearing shoes. So put us there in Prince's position. He wants us to feel what he's singing about. It's a very visceral experience to listen to this song and hear the way he sings the lyrics in a manner that can almost make a more squeamish listener uncomfortable. Or if you're listening to this song in the presence of somebody who you're not comfortable talking about sex or having a conversation around sex, if that person or those people are in the same room as you as you're playing this song, it can make you uncomfortable. It's almost like if you're a teenager and you're watching a movie and there's a sex scene and your parents are watching the movie with you. That's uncomfortable. And this song can almost make a listener feel that way. It's almost too intimate. The noises that Prince makes and the way he sings it almost sounds like it's too intimate, like we shouldn't be listening in to what is going on in the studio when he's making this song. And you don't hear any female vocals. You don't hear anything that is indicating that there's another person in the room with Prince during the recording of the song. I think the anecdotes that I read, that this song was primarily recorded by himself late at night. He wanted privacy. He wanted to be alone, so he could feel maybe a little uninhibited in putting this song out there and doing it in a way that he might not be able to let himself go that way or let himself sing it in that manner if there were other people present. And knowing that and hearing that from those who were with him during the recording of this record, it makes 100% sense. And I'm thankful that he did it that way, because I don't think this song wouldn't be unique, really. It wouldn't be as special as it is if it wasn't so intimate, if it didn't have that special, or that special Prince ingredient of the vocals. Here we are in this big old empty room, staring each other down. You want me just as much as I want you. Let's stop fooling around. Take me, baby, kiss me all over. Play with my love. Bring out what's been in me for far too long. Baby, you know that's all I've been dreaming of. Big old empty room, probably a bedroom. Doesn't necessarily have to be, just any room with two people staring at each other with desire, and finally going to take it to the next level. And that's really what I think he's trying to express here, is that he's one of two people in this song, and he's expressing a desire that's unmatched in his mind. He wants his baby to kiss him all over and play with his love, okay? I think play with his love and kiss me all over, that's just touch me, play with me, caress me, arouse me. Bring out what's been in me for far too long. The final consummation of this attraction is going to happen tonight. It's going to happen here in the lyrics of this song. It's been all he's dreaming of. Do me, baby, like you've never done before. Give it to me till I just can't take no more. Come on and do me, baby, like you've never done before. I want you now, I just can't wait no more. Can't wait. Like you've never done before. This is going to be an epic screw. This is going to be an epic adventure. This is going to be an epic fuck. This isn't going to just be a sexual experience that either will forget. That's not the intention. Like you've never done before. Give me everything. Give it all to me. Don't hold back. Prince can take it. That's what he's implying. Do me like you've never done before. Verse 2. Here we are looking for a reason. You to lay me down. For a love like ours is never out of season. So baby, please stop teasing me. What you do, I can never love no other. You're the best I ever had. Whenever we're not close to one another, I just want you so bad. Looking for a reason for you to lay me down. I feel like Prince is singing this song in a very submissive tone. He wants his lover to do me. I mean, if you look into the lyrics, this whole song is sung in a submissive tone, from a submissive point of view. He's not going to do you, baby. He wants you to do me. Take me, baby. Kiss me all over. Play with my love. He's asking his lover to do things to him. He's not taking the initiative. He's not taking the lead. He's acting like he needs this person to do these things and pleading with this person to do these things. But it's not like he's going for it himself. He wants her to lay me down. The song is sung as if it was from the woman's perspective. It really is. And not to say that women can't be the aggressor in sex. They absolutely can. And I firmly believe that. And I think Prince believed that too. But this is 1981. And those gender dynamics maybe were a little more rigid at the time, but not in Prince's mind, and not the way these lyrics are written or the way they're being sung. And that's what I don't know. I don't know for a fact if this song, if these lyrics were sung in this way, written in this way by Andre, or if Prince did a little tweaking to them to make them come across as if he's the submissive in this relationship, or at least in sex, when it comes to sex. That's all we really know at this point, is the song's about sex. He feels like she's teasing him, so he says, stop teasing me. You're the best I ever had. That's a common line. At least early in his career, that is something that Prince repeats in a number of songs. It's very important that he lets his partners know that they're the best he's ever had. Whether that's true or not, or if it's just a line, that's not to be questioned. He's telling her that, so she needs to believe it. He wants her to believe it. Repeats the chorus, do me baby like you've never done before. Give it to me till I just can't take no more. Come on and do me baby like you've never done before. I want you now, I just can't wait no more, can't wait. And then we get to the bridge, where Prince begins to repeat the lines, do me baby all night long. Do me baby, I want you now, do me baby, give it to me. I mean, he's singing these lines along with the music. And it's just more of him pleading and really almost demanding that he's taken in this way. He doesn't want to do it all alone. I want your love, do me baby. This feeling is too strong, make me wait too long. He's kind of ad-libbing at this point. I think he's just saying lines, either repeating lines already from the song, or just, like I said, ad-libbing some lines. I want your love, do me baby, give it to me. This point in the song, if this is supposed to be from beginning to end a sexual encounter, we're at the point now where there's probably some foreplay. They're just starting to get going, and he's making sure that he's telling her what he wants. Maybe not in explicit terms, but just pleading with her to make it good. Why does he need her? Because he loves her. He doesn't want to do it alone. The feeling's so strong that he doesn't want to wait anymore. Let's do it. I want you now is how he finishes this. And then we get to the outro, which is the most interesting part of the song, in my opinion. So this whole song, he's singing this in a very breathy falsetto, as I mentioned, which is like a vocal technique used to imply desire. And there's a lot of desire being expressed in this song. And the song is all about the delivery, not the specific lines. It's all about the delivery. Somebody else could sing this song, and it might come across flat. It might be considered boring, rote, uninteresting. And even though this was widely considered and documented as an Andre Simone composition, Prince's delivery sells this song. Without this, I don't think this song becomes as memorable. I really don't. I have a hard time believing that this song can be as memorable as it is sung by anybody else. Because this outro, with Prince just performing his spoken word portion. Now, I forgot to mention prior, during the bridge, when he's repeating those lines about do me baby, do me all night long, he adds screams into these lines. So he's singing highs in falsetto and he's pleading. He has like these frustrated screams, taking his vocals just, to the max in a way that he really hadn't done before in a Prince ballad. He doesn't scream a ton up to this point. Controversy is really, I feel like, the album where his scream became a part of what he did, and a part of his vocal techniques. And so you throw in a number of these really epic screams into Do Me Baby during the bridge. Then it's the outro where he's speaking more softly and in his normal speaking voice. And these are the lines that I feel like continue with my theory that he's singing this song from a submissive standpoint. He says, "You're leaving me no choice. Okay, what are you going to do? You just going to sit there and watch? Watch. Watch him do what?" I mean, as far as I know, and through my experience, sex is not a passive activity. So whether he is pleasuring himself in front of his lover, and that's what she's watching, or if he's just trying to get her to come closer because maybe she is hesitant, or maybe she's reticent to join him and he's already kind of gotten started, if you know what I mean. And this is him just kind of teasing her, "Hey, I'm here all by myself. I'm naked. I'm ready to go. And look at you. You're standing over there on the other side of the room. What, are you just going to watch me? Or are you going to come over here and join me? Are you sure you don't want to close your eyes? Well, isn't it supposed to take a long time? I'm not going to stop until the war is over." I mean, just the way this song continues on at this point, with Prince essentially speaking these lines in a very, very soft yet determined manner. It just continues to, the first section especially, where he's talking about, "You leave me no choice, what are you going to do? You just going to sit there and watch? Are you sure you don't want to close your eyes? Well, isn't it supposed to take a long time?" I like that line because I think it's implying a little bit that if Prince is pleasuring himself, is giving himself pleasure, that maybe he's being pressured to hurry up, or maybe his partner is giving off the vibe that they want him to hurry up, so that either it can be become a more mutual experience, or if Prince is performing a sexual act on his lover, who's possibly inexperienced, then that person may wonder why Prince is dragging out their pleasure. And I guess if he's doing that, then he's probably just trying to maximize it and make it the best experience possible. And then he says, "I'm not going to stop until the war is over." So you have to let your imagination kind of run with it, because these lines are said in a way that they could mean just about anything. They could be sung from a man's perspective, from a woman's perspective. They could be sung from the perspective of somebody who is providing oral pleasure, intercourse. You really just, if you're letting your mind wander with this, it could literally just to be about any act could be occurring when he's singing these lines, or a multitude of acts. And my theory is that Prince was just saying lines that came into his head when he was in this moment, when he was in the zone, so to speak, alone in his studio, recording this song. And these are lines that elicit a bit of a visceral response, lines that could be said during sex or have been said during sex and can be relatable. And some of them are just plain a little wacky. He says, "Help me," at one point. He goes, and then I'm not going to stop until the war is over. So, he mentions, the Controversy album, as I mentioned in previous episodes, this is a very political record. And the fact that he had to throw in a line about war in a song that is not intended to be a political song whatsoever just tells me that this was still kind of like on his mind during the recording of this record. While something like Ronnie Talks to Russia is certainly much more overt, the comment about not stopping until the war is over is just another way to continue that common thread of political commentary, even in a song that it doesn't really belong. It has no business being there. But because it's more of a throwaway line in a spoken word outro, that's the place to do it, I guess, if you're going to do it. So that's a little bit of a bizarre line. The help me line is bizarre. Help me. That's not typically a phrase that one would hear said during intercourse. Help me? Unless he's just saying, help me because I'm experiencing something so pleasurable I can barely even function. He needs help. And then the final line of the song, I'm so cold, just hold me. And as he says these words, he's shivering, audibly shivering. I'm so cold. Being cold, feeling cold after a sexual encounter is not what I would consider typical. But Prince takes it a completely different place. He's cold now. So either he keeps his home very, very cold in the winter in Minnesota, and now that they're done, he realizes just how cold it is around him, or he feels alone, he feels isolated, and is maybe less of a I'm physically cold, more than a I need to be held, I want to be held, because he says just hold me, so that he can be closer and feel that warmth again. And it's an interesting line. And Prince saying how cold he is and he wants to be held is how the song ends. And this is, as I mentioned, if Do Me Baby is supposed to be from foreplay to orgasm, the recreation of a sexual encounter through song, then he's essentially achieving orgasm during the help me there, okay part of the outro. And then once he starts shivering, the encounter is over, it's complete. And all of his screams and groans and moaning and the way he sings the lines leading up to the outro all imply that these are happening during the actual sex act. The verses and the chorus are the foreplay leading up to sex. The bridge and the outro is actually having sex. And that is how I have always taken this song and taken it to be, or should be listened to, as a two-part song. First half foreplay, second half the encounter itself. And as you can imagine, the single edit of this song leaves out a lot of that sex part of the song. You mostly just get the foreplay, the lyrics in the verses and in the chorus, and then a little bit of the bridge before it's all edited out and fades out. So the edit version basically is a big tease. And from a male perspective, I would say the edit version gives you blue balls. You're not able to see it through. And that's a little frustrating for me, because for me this song needs to be the entire nearly 8 minute length in order to really get the full experience of Do Me Baby. So you won't hear me listening to this song in any other way. It's the full 7-minute 46-second version where I don't listen to it at all. Find yourself a closed, empty room and listen to this track and enjoy yourself. This has been the Press Rewind Prince Lyrics podcast. I've been your host, Jason Brenninger. Hope you've had a good time with this one. Catch me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or my PressRewind.net blog. And until next time, thank you very much.